To run a demo of Geomechanica's Irazu simulation software, first download the latest version of VirtualBox for your host operating system. In this case, I've downloaded and installed VirtualBox for Windows. Once VirtualBox is installed, go to File and import Appliance in VirtualBox. Browse to the folder where you have downloaded Geomechanica's OVA file, which is essentially a complete operating system that includes Geomechanica's Irazu simulation software. Click Open and then click Next. Review the appliance settings. In most cases, the default settings are okay. I'd like you to notice here that if your hardware allows for it, it will be beneficial to allocate more than one CPU to the operating system. And this way your simulations will run faster. I would also recommend that you allocate a minimum of 2 gigs of RAM to the VirtualBox. Once this is done, press import. The import process will take a while depending on how fast your computer is, but this should be done within 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get back when the import process is finished. Now that the VirtualBox import is complete, you see the new item added on the left-hand side. If you click on Settings, you can review or change the settings of your VirtualBox. For instance, you can increase the number of processors or the amount of RAM or the display memory that you have allocated to the operating system. One thing that will be quite useful is the shared folders, and this would allow you to share files between your host operating system, in this case my Windows 10 machine, and the VirtualBox, which is a Linux Mint. So click on the plus icon here and browse to the folder where you want to share. Let's say I want to share a folder on my desktop. So I'll browse to desktop and I go to VirtualBox folder there, and a name is given to that. And I will click on Automate so that it's always available when you turn on VirtualBox. And you can press OK there. There's OK there. Once you're done, you can press on Start, and the VirtualBox will start to load. If you see an error message like the one shown on the screen where VirtualBox is complaining about VTX or VTR, you would need to enable virtual technology in the BIOS settings. How you get to the BIOS settings really depends on your hardware, in particular your motherboard and your operating system. After virtual technology has been enabled in BIOS settings, the VirtualBox should be able to load. The loading again will take a short while depending on how fast your system is. After a short while, you see the login screen. Log in with the username and password that was provided to you. We are now inside the operating system, which is a Linux Mint device. And you see the Geomechanica's Irazu simulation software on the desktop or also on the taskbar. You can double click on the user interface. You should read the user interface, the Irazu's end user license agreement, and agree to the terms. And once the software opens, you have to locate and activate the license file that was given to you. If your license file is inside your host operating system and not obviously in your VirtualBox, you will first need to access the shared folder that we just created. However, there is one step you need to do before you can access the shared folder within VirtualBox. To do that, you have to go to Devices, Insert Guest Editions CD Image. This will take a short while, and you see the CD is mounted there. You can click on Run. You have to put in the password that was given to you by Geomechanica. Once that is done, you authenticate this and type in Yes to confirm that you want to install additional software modules. The installation is now complete, and you can press your Return or Enter key to close this window. Now that Guest Editions has been installed, you can easily access your shelled folder on the file browser of the Linux operating system. You can click on the Files icon that you see here, which is essentially like your File Explorer on Windows. Um, from here, browse to File System, Media, and the name of the shared folder, starting with sf underscore, and then the name of the shared folder. So essentially, this is the folder that we had shared, and if you copy files on your operating system, so let's say if I open a file on the desktop and put it here, let's just try. Once you go to your Linux operating system and refresh by pressing F5, you see the folder there. So now let's assume that you have your license support file for Irazu user interface. You go back to Irazu and say I have a license file. Click on that and browse to the folder where you have copied the Irazu license. In this case, it's here for me, so I click on open, and you see that the license has been activated for a certain number of days or months, depending on the license you received from us. After this, you're done, and you can start creating, opening projects as you see fit. Thank you.